Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Deborah Gardner with Hospitality Today Live, and we are here today, Thursday, September 23rd, to actually celebrate the achievements of women in the hospitality profession. And we're so glad that you are with us to help this because you know what? Hospitality women make a difference. And today is where we're proving it, starting with this live broadcast event. And of course, many companies and organizations recognizing it around the world. And I've got a great guest for you today, and I cannot wait until you hear what she has to share. And I am going to be talking about Olga Navarro, who is representing the country of Spain. She is from Barcelona, and she is the former managing partner at ITB Events. And I tell you what, this woman is incredible. She's an expert for luxury experiences, incentive travels, and events, providing experimental and logistical solutions to international clients all over the world in multiple countries. And for more than 25 years. So you can tell this businesswoman has it going on. And so I can't wait for you to meet her because she's going to talk about what it's like being a woman in a man's world, how women are connected despite the cultural differences, and how to take care of you. And of course, our young industry women that are coming up as fast as we did when we were back in the day of the hospitality industry. And what is it that she's most proud of in her career, and so much more, including, what are the best solutions to cope with this craziness that we're going throughout the world, and so much more. And I can't wait. So let's get this started. We'll be right back. Well, here we are today, Thursday, September 23rd, the International Hospitality Women's Day. And again, we are so happy that you all are here with us. And now I'd like to introduce to you Olga. Welcome.
Hi, I'm so excited to meet myself. I mean, you made a great introduction, so I'm excited to hear what I have to say.
Well, this is very, very exciting, especially to have someone from Barcelona that has so much experience. And that's the beauty of what's going on here today, is that the women viewers, even the men out there in the industry, are meeting such brilliant women like yourself, and they're going to be just amazed with your experience and background, which we want you to share with, starting out with, because why are you the former managing partner at ITBA Events, and tell us about your background. And you mentioned when we were, chatting by email not too long ago, and I quote from you, this is a time to rethink, recharge, and re-event who I want to be. Tell us more.
Sure. Well, today is September 23rd. Yesterday, I turned 50. So this was like a milestone year for me, something that I wanted to really think about who I wanted to continue being for the next years until I retire, right? So last year in 2020, I resigned from ITB Events, which has been the company of my life. I was working there for 22 years. I started like a really junior project manager, and I went, scaling all the way to managing director and then managing partner. But then at some point, I realized I wasn't happy anymore. And to me, professional growth, it is absolutely meaningful, but I don't live for working, right? I work for a living. And at some point I was like, I don't like this anymore. Clients have lost that sense of loyalty that I used to remember back in the days, right?
Right.
We've all gotten to this point when everybody says nobody owns a client, and we all like, yeah, that's right. How sad is that? Nobody owns a
Totally.
client. We've done some crazy stuff for our clients. I mean, at least I have. Some of
Yeah.
them almost illegal. And
Right.
then you know that the next time they're coming back to Spain, they're not going to call me because they have to pitch. Those were the things that were making me ask the questions like, is this the environment that I want to be working on? So on my LinkedIn, I posted an article that I wrote about choosing happiness. Because of course I was managing partner. It was my company. I was running it. I was at the top of my game. Why leave? Especially when I do not have a B plan. Like right now, I do not have a clear idea about what the life in the next 15 years is going to look
Right.
like. But it
Right.
doesn't matter. I'm not afraid of that. I know my value. I know what I bring onto the table. And I'm listening to the signs around me. So this is why I am former managing partner. I left with a lot of sadness, but also, like closing a door, opening a window. Well, I am right now in the middle of the air current. So let's see how that goes.
Well, that is amazing to hear this and for you to actually share this as well, because women today, one thing that they need to embrace, I believe, is bravery. And what you did, even though you were very successful and on top of your game, you know what? I think you've discovered that it's time to take it to another level. And to do that, you have to make some changes.
Yes, and also it depends on what your idea of success looks like. To me, it is not bigger, harder, stronger, right? And it's fine if that is how success looks for someone
For
else.
you, right?
But it wasn't for me, okay?
Okay, right.
So I just want to make sure that I make this clear. It's not that I want to earn less money. It's just that I want to work with different motivations. And I don't know how to be 50% of myself. I am a Spanish, crazy, powerful Latino woman, right? I don't know how to simply care. I mean, I
Right,
care with my life or I don't care at all.
right.
I love with passion and I hate with the same passion because, it's the balance between everything. So
Sure.
I didn't know how to just be there and do my thing. I had to find something else. So I said, you know what? Let's do it. And of course, you have to have a certain levels of confidence in what you can do. And
Right.
in that, I rank really high. So no big deal.
I love your energy and I love what you are saying because, again, this is what women really need to hear. And so, to you, being a woman in a man's world,
Hmm.
what does that actually mean? And do you even put that into the equation of you making these kind of decisions?
Not now because age brings wrinkles, but also brings wisdom. And
Okay.
that is a fact. As you can tell, I am extremely good looking, and that
Yes, you
has
are.
been a curse all of my life. And you don't see me full body. If you
Look at that
did,
hair. I
oh
love
yeah, look
that
at my
hair.
hair, look
Oh
at
my
all of that.
gosh, I want that hair.
No, but I mean, on a serious note, when I started, I wasn't 50, and there were some issues with a woman having full control in an event, for example, where you had, I don't know, 50 riggers, 300 waiters, and staff that traditionally are males, right?
Right.
So, and this is Spain, okay? The cultural background has a lot of impact. Just yesterday, I saw on TikTok one ad that was on the Spanish television only like 50 years ago, where the woman was complaining that her husband wasn't feeling happy and that he was abusing her, like slapping her on the face. And then the other woman is like, but have you tried to make him happier? Have you tried to understand that he comes back from work and he is tired? And now you look at this and you're like, but this was Spain 50 years ago. And most of these men not only are still alive, but also they've had children that have received
Right.
a certain education. So
Right.
being a woman in power in Spain when you are young and have a certain way of behaving,
Right.
it wasn't easy, right?
Right.
So
Right.
sometimes I felt really down about that. I remember being once in a hotel with the most luxurious hotel in Spain, with the largest budget ever, the most VIP people, people from the US, from all over the world. And the waiters, when I wasn't listening, or they thought I wasn't listening, they would still talk about me like the one with the boobs. And I was like, okay, so I am running a 1 million euro program. I speak 7 languages. I have an MBA. Yet I am the one with the boobs. Yes, I have two. Welcome to my life. I am a woman. Get over it and set the meeting up, right? So
Um,
I believe that in certain parts of the world, women, they still have to put a lot of energy in making men forget what they have in between their legs and making them remember what their position in the scale is, and make them focus on what they have to do, which is work, do your
right.
job, do your thing,
Right.
do it right, and
Right.
then just leave it there. So
I totally agree. And that's what's going to build their confidence, because they're going to start seeing results.
correct.
It's just a matter of putting themselves out there and making sure they define their own success, as you said. And
Totally.
that is very, very clear. I can't, thank you enough for sharing that, because that is the way Latino women rock, and Spaniards, you just, it's just all about getting it done. So we want to, follow your lead in that area, especially here in the United States.
Wow,
So
thank you.
you're a mom.
I
You're a
am.
mom, and this industry is 24/7 if you want it to be. But family right now during this crazy world, there's a lot of stress, a lot of anger. How do you deal with what's going on in the world, balancing your, also, taking care of you and your family? How do you manage all of this?
Well, I am a very practical woman, so most of the things that I do, they have a background thought, right? For example, I know if I don't eat well, and if I don't work out, and if I don't get the proper sleep, chances are that my performance will not be as high or as extraordinary as I demand myself to be. So I take care of the things that I eat, and the things that I work out. The I have no time, sorry, it's not for me. That's not an excuse that I can take. And I invest in myself simply because I know I can get more out of me if I do it than if I don't. And when it comes to motherhood, there is something that I learned not so long ago, which is no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, no matter how many books you read or how many people, advisors you check, you are never ever going to hit the perfect key when it comes to educating your children. If you give them too much time, that's a bad thing. If you give them too little, that's a bad thing. If you are feeling regrets because you have a career and you have a successful trip coming up and you have to leave your child behind, that's a bad thing. But if you don't do it because you want to stay home and you want to take care of your child, that's again a bad thing. So thinking that no matter what your choices are, you are not going to be spot on, that it will always be, if I had done this, if I had done that. If you start from those premises, then you are much more relaxed about your decisions, because you don't take your decisions based on concepts that other people tell you, right? Like having a career, being a mom, stay home, don't travel, do travel, all of that. You don't focus on that anymore. You focus on doing the best that you know, the best that you can, and doing it with love, with good days and bad days, embracing the good moments, embracing the bad moments, right? Because like my mom stopped working and dedicated her life to me, which in a way made me who I am. But I worked, I have dedicated my life to my son, and in a way, I am making him who he is, right? So I cannot take all the blame of my son education, because it's not only me in his environment, it's other people as well. So I think just acting with pragmatism, a good deal of love, of course, and our multitasking brain that allows us to plan wisely. I think you're fine, because there is no good or wrong when it comes to educating your children. So there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, that is great advice. And I'm a four-legged mom, but I believe what you're saying is possible, despite the fact that women are still connected, no matter what cultural differences
Yeah.
we have, especially when it comes to motherhood. But on a professional standpoint of view, what are some of your advice there?
Yeah, I believe that women, and I know women, it's a gender, it's not a race, but I think women are a race on its own, right? Because of course, I live in Spain. I may have dinner every night at 10:30 p.m. And for you, that can be like,
Right.
and then you are now 7:30 in your morning, talking to me, I mean, or whatever. And I'm like, 7:30 in the morning?
I
No,
know.
let's just wait until 10 o'clock. So cultural differences may
Right.
affect some of the things we do, but we're both women. That means our brain is developed in a certain way, and
Right.
multitasking has no secrets for us. We
Right.
walk into a room and we know what's wrong. We know what's wrong. Do we want to see that? No.
No.
Especially if we're not working. When we go to a restaurant with our partners and you enter, you go like, oh my God,
Yeah.
the waiter has the vase with the
Yeah.
stick, and then this is wrinkle, and then you start like, and my son says like, Mom, don't stress out, you're not working. I know, but I wish I could like switch off and not
Yeah.
think. We do see it. We are
Right.
connected and we
Right.
support each other,
Right. Right.
when we smile and say we're fine but our eyes are not smiling, we see that. Men don't see that.
Right.
You tell them M
Right.
with an A makes ma. Oh, okay. I'm not calling them dumb, please.
Right.
I'm just saying that women, our brain is connected in a different way and than it is for men. And then when we are together, if you don't run into one of those ladies who feel threatened by the energy and the power and the looks of another,
Right.
then it's fine. But
Right.
ultimately, when that happens to you, you as a person, you have a choice. You can choose to be offended by that behavior or confront the lady, or you can choose to be pity for her because her behavior is just a reflect of her own insecurities. If she feels threatened, it's because she doesn't have what you do, which is maybe confident, right? And
Right.
why is she not having that? Maybe her dad was a pastor or something. You know what I mean? Uh, I believe women, even when we are a little bit bitchy, we understand each other. And in a day like today, International Women's Day, more than ever, at least as a reminder, ladies, we have to help each other. We have to, support each other
Yes.
because we are not the enemy here.
Right.
It's
Right.
not. We just
Right.
make ourselves greater, one adding to the other.
Oh,
So,
good points. Good points. And couldn't agree with you 2000%. And hearing this now gives women around the world permission to be a bitch if you're going to be a bitch.
of course, but if you are, then just say it. Sorry,
Exactly.
girls, today I
Yeah,
am, and then
a
you just
bitch.
say it, and then I give you room because
Exactly.
tomorrow it will be me, no
Exactly.
problem. But
Exactly.
the problem is when we
Exactly.
try to fake it or pretend we are someone we are not,
Right.
or we just, nah,
Right.
no, not
Right.
interested.
Right.
Go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when it comes to young industry professionals, especially for women, and as you know, a lot of industry people have left because of the whole pandemic, but those that are willing to really get in there and join our great profession, what do you believe goes hand in hand when it comes to professional growth for them within our industry?
Okay, first of all, any future young leader, anybody who is starting right now in the hospitality, wherever in the world, this is the advice of your life. If you don't feel it here, don't do it. This job is crazy. It's nonsense. The normal people out there, because we are not the normal ones, I'm just saying, the normal people out there don't get what we do, don't understand what we do, don't understand why we answer the phone on a Sunday morning or on a 3 a.m. at night. They don't get it. So if you don't feel it here in your guts, do not follow hospitality business, because it will be a failure for you in your life. Second thing, find yourself a mentor or someone who inspires you. I have tried. Every year I go at least twice to the University of Hospitality here in Barcelona, and either I give a lecture or a masterclass or allow myself to connect with young leaders, so that, if I have made some mistakes in the past, why should they be making the same mistakes again? Let them learn from my mistakes and let them make new ones, right? But like repeating mistakes, kind of dull. So I'm not really interested in that. And as a professional, I have always tried to have young talent in my office. I always take interns in my office once at a time, not more than one, because I give them full devotion. In fact, I never call them interns. That's a tip. I call them assistants, right? And just the name makes them change their attitude. If you are my assistant, you're assisting me. You're not my secretary. You're not the one that makes coffee. None of that. You are someone that assists me. Therefore, if I go to see the CEO of whatever company, you come with me. If I go on a business trip and you can afford it, then you come with me. So I think the women in leadership, we have the responsibility to pass on the knowledge, pass on the experience, and somehow it's like toddlers when they learn how to walk. We are the crutches where young leaders have to put their support on until they're able to walk and eventually to fly. Because remember, ladies, young leaders are our succession plan. If you are building a successful business, you don't want that to go dead when you retire, right? So invest on the succession plan, because the talent, everyone has it, but the knowledge, you have to share it. It's your duty as a professional.
Oh, beautiful. Absolutely. Totally relate to what you were saying. And I know you are touching so many of our viewers right now with that great advice. And oh my gosh, that's the beauty of having experienced women, especially to be mentors. And that's what's been coming up here in the show all day today, is about mentorship. And I can't, I totally agree with you again so much on that. And yet, we as experienced hospitality veterans in the industry, we need mentors as well. Is there anyone in particular that you call a mentor?
My mom, although she's not an industry leader, but her levels of wisdom are, and I believe your mentor or your hero doesn't necessarily have to be connected with your job. Somebody said that the formula for success is the famous ask: attitude, skills, and knowledge. The knowledge is something you acquire. The skills is something you develop. But the attitude, my friend, either you have it or you don't. And it's like the sassiness or whatever. And therefore, to me, the mentor should be focusing on the attitude, on making you rethink or reposition your view. Like, okay, that thing happened. What do we get out of this? How do we prevent that from happening again? What is the good outcome? How could we turn this into a positive thing, and all of that? Knowledge, hey, you have the internet, you have all the knowledge of not knowledge, you have information, and out of that you get knowledge. And the skills, practice makes perfect. You don't need a mentor for that. You just need hard work. But the attitude, that's where I think. So when it comes to mentor, there are a lot of people that I admire, in this industry from Spain, from outside of, mostly from outside of Spain.
That's good. That's good.
But when it comes to mentoring, to saying, okay, you have a good point, yeah, that would be my mom.
Yeah, I totally, again, can't agree with you more than ever. You're my idol, let me tell you. And
Oh,
especially when it comes to mentorship, I like the fact that you have mentors even outside of Spain, because
yeah,
a lot of people think that you, like you said, they have to have mentors that are close to them and know what they do. No, I believe it actually is even more beneficial to get a different perspective
totally,
outside of the industry. And as I
totally.
share with my audience, it's like, hey, who has a client, for example, that you consider a nightmare client? I mean, we all have a nightmare client.
We
And I
do.
always say, well, hey, ask them to be your mentor, because think about how much you have learned from them going through the process with them. And what better way to get them on your side and to, turn them around? Hey, invite them to be your mentor. So there's so many different ways of mentorship, but I agree with you. Outside is just so much more powerful. It is. So let me ask you this: what is the most proud moment in your career to date?
Huh. I
That's a tough one, right?
Yeah, it's a tough
There's
one.
so many, right?
No. Hey, don't go there. I'm not gonna say anything that I did, because I'm not so self-content. I am proud of myself every day, just for waking up, having a child that is healthy, having food to my table. I mean, I am the greatest woman on earth right now, and I wake up like that. So it's a question of attitude. But a
Love it.
moment that I will always cherish was when I was the chairperson for the Site Global Conference in Cape Town in South Africa. We had F. de Klerk, the ex-president, former president of South Africa, coming over for the keynote session. And since I was the chairperson, when Mr. de Klerk was in the facility with the Ministry of Tourism and all the bodyguards and everyone else, they invited me as the chairperson and the president of site and the director of site to a private room for just a little imbiss, a little chat before introducing him on stage and everything. And I was sitting there next to him, and I love protocol. In fact, somewhere here, I have the largest book ever on protocol. I know exactly how to behave, but I am not the kind of person that when he's with somebody super famous would go shy. No. I have grounded the King of Spain, but grounded. Like people from behind me were like, well, if he did something wrong, I had to ground him. And same thing with many famous people. I do not have a problem. So Mr. de Klerk was sitting here, and I look at him and I say, literally, those were my words. Mr. de Klerk, I am so excited to meet you. And let me tell you something. I'm more excited to meet you than if I was meeting right now Madonna. And he was like, is that so? And I said, yeah, because you know what? What Madonna does, singing and dancing, I can do. Maybe not as good. Maybe not, I cannot make a living out of that. But dancing and singing, I can. But what you did, Mr. de Klerk, what you did, take Nelson Mandela out of jail and change the course of history for your country and mankind overall. He has a Nobel Prize for peace, or peace Nobel Prize. And I said, that no one else can do.
Yeah.
So
Great.
forget Madonna. I mean, you are the pinnacle of my career. I mean, it doesn't get any better. And the guy was like super nice. Everybody around was like, oh my God, we should
Which
have.
made your job easier because you enjoyed it. You enjoyed him. And how
Yeah,
could
but
you not
everybody
enjoy
around was
sight?
like, you don't talk like that to a Nobel Prize, whatever. And then I asked him, so where do you keep it? You have it in your thing? And no, I keep it. And everybody's like, why are you talking to him? Like, conversation, and say, well, I don't know when is the next time I'm going to be sitting with F. de Klerk, so this is my time. And
Take
we were
advantage of it.
chatting, and so yeah, this was a very proud moment for me, because I didn't do anything to deserve that privilege, but when it came, I took the most out of it, and
Sure.
I feel very blessed that I could
That's
go through
great.
that.
That story is such a classic for
Yeah.
especially the young industry leaders coming in, because these are the type of experiences that we
Oh
get to
yeah.
enjoy.
Oh
And
yeah.
this is part of our life. And we're all about having fun and building relationships and connecting with anyone.
Yeah.
Everybody's open to play and help and inform. And you definitely are one person that actually does that very, very well. So, as you know, I can't believe how fast this time with you is going, but I do have one more question. And of course, it does have to do with today, and that is the International Hospitality Women's Day. What does that mean to you, Olga?
Okay. You know, when those companies make a CSR programs in Africa and they bring backpacks to the children, the orphans, and they
Sure.
take pictures and all of that, and we
Right.
know it's kind of fake, but at
Right.
least the kids get the backpack. Well,
Right.
I see the silver lining about having an International Hospitality Women's Day, but I hate that there has to be one day to
Yeah.
recognize us. I totally hate
True.
it. I mean,
True.
what is
True.
this mean? That the rest of the year is International Hospitality Men's Day? Hello? So, yeah, okay, I get it. We start step by step. There is recognition. We get together. We celebrate
Love
and all
it.
of that. But,
Love
honey,
it.
it's the 21st century.
Yep.
We should be so over
Yeah.
that whole thing by now.
Exactly.
So, yeah. I mean, I love being in the show with you. Don't get me wrong. And I love the fact that we connect. But,
Keep it going.
I wish we didn't need one day to
Right.
recognize women in the hospitality world. Let's just
Totally
say
agree
that.
with you.
But since it's there, let's just celebrate.
Let's get it started. Let's get the momentum going and accelerate from there. I cannot thank you again for your honesty. I just love your energy. And of course, I love your hair. And I cannot wait to have the opportunity to meet you and hang with you, because you definitely are my kind of peep. So I totally appreciate what you have shared with us. And I know our viewers are just like ecstatic by all of this honesty. And that's what we need more of. So thank you for participating and leading the way for this special day to get kick-started for every day, like you said. So I appreciate
Thank you
that.
so much. Anybody who wants to connect with me on LinkedIn, happy to do so. Let's just share the love and let's get this day rolling. Thank you.
Absolutely. And so this is definitely a way for you to connect with Olga. And I highly recommend all the viewers, you want to meet this lady. There is no doubt. So here's her email address, and connect with her on LinkedIn. Guarantee she will respond and have a great conversation with you as well. So thank you, Olga. We so appreciate you.
Thanks, Deb, for having me. Pleasure to have you. Adios.
Well, what did I tell you? You were definitely in for a special treat. She is incredible and so amazing. How lucky are we to have someone like Olga in our industry for especially this long of a period, because she definitely has so much energy. She can do anything that she wants to, but she has decided to stick it out with our industry. And I know she's taking everything to a new level and wouldn't surprise any of us. So definitely connect with her. And if you want to see this episode again, by all means, know that it will be showing up on all our social media platforms for Hospitality Today Live, or share it with a colleague or a friend or a family member, whoever. And they would definitely love to hear what Olga had to say. She had so many golden nuggets in her quick 30 minutes here, and we want to make sure that you all get to hear it again and again and again. So, hey, if you want to connect with us for any more new ideas or want to continue to celebrate International Hospitality Today, please do. We are at hello@hospitalitytodaylive.com, and continue to watch the rest of today, because we've got even more exciting guests, women from around the world that are here to celebrate the hospitality today. So thank you so much for joining us, and stay tuned. We'll be back in a very short period of time.